Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Down to number 87 on the 2023 49ers Rush roster countdown. And we've got a guy that we had last year. One of the most recent guys, new additions, and that's tight end Troy Fumagalli. Who's had an interesting career, to say the least. Last year, Troy Fumagalli was 74 on our countdown. This year, he's dropped considerably. He brings a very unique skill set. He's very, very large, 6'6", 248, but, didn't make the roster last year and it's kind of bounced around in the NFL. Hasn't really played in the NFL since 2020, so he's got an uphill battle, to say the least, but still a fun player. Shout out to Josh, the 49ers guru, who produced this episode. And Troy Fumagalli, we have our 5 producers rank every single player 1 through 90. He came in with an accumulative score of 429. The lower the score, the better. Again, last year 74, this year 87 overall. His jersey number is 47, so back-to-back 47 players. Again, A.J. Parker's wearing 47, Troy Fumagalli's wearing 47. You get the scraps. Not that 47 is a bad number, but your 2 most recent additions, hey, guys, you're wearing the same number. There's only 99 numbers plus the retired numbers. It just makes it difficult. Now, what does Fumagalli bring to the table? One, he's been coached very, very well in a lot of very familiar offensive schemes as the 49ers, Broncos, Patriots, 49ers, now second-year stint with the 49ers. And I thought it was interesting. The Niners have actually added Troy Fumagalli not once, not twice, but 3 times to their roster. There's something that he brings that they like. Now, is he a fallback option? Yes. There's a reason why he's 87 out of 91 players. 6'6", 248, very, very tall, 34-inch arms, impressive, 28 years old. Now, he's entering his 6th season of being in the NFL. Only played in 2, though, meaningful time. He was a 5th-round draft pick back in 2018. He went number 156 to the Broncos. And so I went back and, just started looking through the 2018 draft, which is so interesting. He went between 2 Niners picks. I say went between. There's about 10 to 15 picks on either side of the 49ers. So the 49ers took DJ Reed. Then about 10 to 15 picks later, Troy Fumagalli comes off the board to the Broncos. Then another 10 to 15 picks. The 49ers took Marcel Harris. So it's interesting just looking at the cluster of where these kind of players went, right? Marcel Harris no longer in the NFL to my knowledge. DJ Reed still playing very, very well. That's a whole nother story. I don't want to get into that. Now, he's from Aurora, Illinois. He played for the Wabanesi, I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation, Valley High School, the Warriors. Went to Wisconsin. And while he was at Wisconsin, was part of the winningest class in Wisconsin history when he graduated. Played in 52 games, 32 career starts, a lot of work. Finished career 7th in school history with 135 receptions, 13th all-time with 1,627 yards. That's what he brings. He's a big target that can block, not overly elusive, not a road grader. He's just a big target that can catch. That's what he brings to the table. He was a John Mackey Award finalist in 2017, goes to the best tight end. Burlsworth Trophy finalist, second team All-American. You get Big Ten tight end of the year, first team Big Ten coaches poll, second team All Big Ten media. John Mackey tight end of the week for September 13th back in 2017. He's just done a lot. And he showed up in big games. In the Cotton Bowl in 2016, he was the offensive MVP. So he's done it time and time again. And, of course, academic All Big Ten, which is not easy to do. And this dude is just scrapped. This practice squad bouncing around the NFL is not new to him. He was a walk-on to Wisconsin and had to earn his scholarship. Eventually got the invite to the Senior Bowl, scouting combine, all those different things. Now, on top of all that, he's had adversity since the moment he was born. He had an amniotic band constriction at birth. The doctors had to amputate his left index finger just a few days after he's born. I think that's where I could be wrong here, but I think when the umbilical cord gets wrapped around something. Family's athletes. Father played at Holy Cross. Brother played baseball at Dayton. Other brother, Ross, he's got 2 brothers, Drew and Ross, played football at Dayton. So they played a lot. Now, if you're looking at the entirety of his career, it leaves a lot to be wanting. So let's go through the transactions and how Troy Fumagalli has gotten to this point. It started off really, really well. Very promising career. He gets drafted 5th round, 156 overall in the 2018 draft to the Broncos. It looked like it was going to be, awesome right off the start. He starts off on injured reserve. It's rough. But he comes back in 2019, and he plays in 11 games with 5 starts. He had 156 snaps, only 6 catches, but did score a touchdown, and he graded relatively well. Not great. Listen to these PFF scores from his rookie year. 48.6 offensive grade, bad. 51.9 run block grade, bad. 65.1 pass block grade, all right, that's cool. Never allowed a quarterback hit or a sack. He allowed 1 hurry. That was it his rookie year. But then after that, they go back and he gets injured again, and they put him on injured reserve and waive him on a settlement. So they're like, you know what? We're going to let you go. Your injury's just too much. We need the roster spot. The Houston Texans pick him up September 14, 2020. He never played for him, never took a snap. He gets released a month later. Broncos pick him back up, so now a second stint with the Broncos, and he played really, really well. Again, this is his second season in the NFL, 2020, right? Drafted 2018, 2019 rookie year because he got injured at 2018. So 2019 was essentially his rookie year. Now 2020, after already being cut from the Broncos, being cut from the Texans, goes to the Broncos and plays a ton. He plays in the last 8 games of the 2020 season, 135 snaps, 8 catches on 15 targets, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. But all of his scores went through the roof. Here's his PFF scores on his second year, right? 2020. 70.6 offensive grade. That's awesome. 73.7 in the pass game. Great. 60.9 pass block. All right. 60.1 run block. Not bad. 2 pressures allowed. Again, no quarterback hits allowed. No sacks allowed. So put some good tape up. Got a decent contract with the New England Patriots because he got waived and brought back. Denver Broncos didn't tender him. He goes to the Patriots, gets a decent deal on May 27, 2021. It just never worked out. Got injured, released. They let him go. 49ers bring him in the following year, May 17, 2022, and he sticks on our team throughout the whole process until the final cuts and got cut. We brought him back on the practice squad for a little bit, then he got waived. Then we just brought him back on a reserve, he signed with us this offseason. So if we step back, Troy Fumagalli's had 5 starts, played 19 games. Stats aren't the best. Let's just be real. He's got like 14 catches for his career. What does he do well? A little bit of everything. And there's a reason why you have him around. It's just because he's a tough guy. He works really, really hard. He's got an NFL body, and he can kind of do a little bit of everything. Not great at anything, but if you lose a pass catching option, he's a possibility. You lose a blocking option, he's a possibility. He's a safety net type of player. Now, what's most likely for him? Maybe practice squad, but with the addition of the 2 young rookie tight ends, that makes it even more difficult. So if we look at the tight end depth chart, right? Kittle, that one's easy. After that, Cameron Latu was a 3rd-round pick. He's making this roster. Braden Willis, I like him as an impact player more than Cameron Latu early. Latu later in his career once he develops. But then you've got 2 guys that beat Fumagalli clearly last year, Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly. Then you've got Troy Fumagalli. Now, a wild card in this whole situation is undrafted free agent out of Oregon State, Jack Coletto. Where the hell are they going to play him? He's a guy that played quarterback, fullback, run back, tight end, wide receiver, and middle linebacker. Is he going to be taking tight end snaps? I don't know. So I don't think that this is an opportunity so much for him to make this 53-man roster, the 49ers, but it's a good place to be for him because there's going to be so many coaches, GMs that are poached to other teams. He's 28. Dude can still play, so it's going to be interesting. He's going to need injuries, going to need all those things, but I don't think that there's really any shot of him making the roster. There's a reason why he's number 87, but I'm glad to have him back. Character, locker room, hard worker guy, and so he fits. Does he fit the 53? I don't think he's at that point in his career. to be honest with you, if he needs playing time, and this is kind of the way the NFL works, because if you're a back into the roster guy, you need to go play for a bad team. However, if you're a bad team, you're trying to develop low-level, younger, upside-type players. He doesn't really fit either of those. So he's in this no man's land. They're probably going to bounce around, practice squad for a year or two. That seems to be the trajectory that his career is going in. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he could show us something. But at number 87, thank you again, Josh, 49ers Guru, for this episode. Number 87, tight end Troy Fumagalli. His second year with the Niners. Let's see if he can pick up some steam and get some actual playing time. But we're just going to keep counting him down here.